Welcome to the American Railroading Podcast, brought to you by the Revolution Rail Group, live from the great state of Texas. Join us as we educate, entertain, and explore the world of American railroading. Here's your host, industry veteran, Don Walsh.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the American Railroading Podcast. I am your host, Don Walsh, President and CEO of the Revolution Rail Group. We are the anchor sponsor for the American Railroading Podcast. We provide consulting and brokering services to the railcar industry. So if you need any kind of consulting services like merger and acquisition consulting, process flow analysis, market analysis, we can help you with that. We can also help you with buying, selling, leasing, or subleasing of rail cars. You can reach out to us today at 844-455-3434 or info@therevolutionrailgroup.com. You can also check out our full suite of services on our website at therevolutionrailgroup.com. So Christmas is here. I tried to find a Christmassy shirt. I kind of look like wrapping paper, so this was the closest I could get to it. But Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving as well. So I have to tell you, having lived in Chicago most of my life, when I experienced Thanksgiving here in Houston for the first time, it was very different. And this year was the same as it has been for the last 5 years, where we may have turkey, but it's going to be either smoked or barbecued. And it's going to come with brisket and tamales. So I enjoyed every minute of it. Hopefully you guys did too. And the winter has arrived at the same time. So it feels a lot like Christmas this year as the temperatures have dropped into the 30s and 40s already as a low. Of course, we're still in the 70s and 80s. Sorry, Chicagoans. I feel bad for you, sort of. But thanks to all of you, we continue to remain in the top 10% for all podcasts globally, which is a total blessing. We've now been downloaded in 46 countries around the world and on 35 different platforms, including Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, and more. Our all-time leaders for downloads still remains the United States number 1, Canada number 2, Australia number 3. But this last month, we've had Canada, Germany, and Sweden now tied for second place for the month, with Italy and Spain in third place. I want to say hello to our friends in Serbia and Austria as well. Please continue to download, subscribe, and share, and leave us reviews. So I know I say it every episode, but it's so true. Reviews really help us a lot. So if you want to leave us a 5-star review, either on our website or your favorite podcast platform, it really pushes us further and further out into the interwebs, which helps us get more listeners, more followers, and in the end helps us tremendously. Also, if you like what you heard on the podcast, you can buy us a cup of coffee. So if you're not familiar with that, you can go to our website, look at the bottom left-hand corner, and you'll see a little yellow coffee cup. You can click on that, and you can buy us a cup of coffee. You can buy us 1 cup, 3 cups, 5 cups, or however many cups you want, and it's like leaving us a tip for doing a good job. So if you like what you heard and you want to help toward our endeavors on the podcast, please go ahead and buy us a cup of coffee. So thank you to those of you that have and those of you that will. Don't forget we have our own YouTube channel as well. Many of you like the video version versus the audio. We have a much larger following now, even over the last few months. So thank you to everyone that's watching us on our YouTube channel. You can follow us on YouTube by either going to our website at americanrailroading.net and clicking on the videos tab, or you can go to YouTube and check us out at YouTube at American Railroading Podcast. Again, that's YouTube at American Railroading Podcast. Be sure to check out our online store as well, especially for Christmas, right? Because there's a ton of stuff out there, whether it's hats or hoodies, all kinds of stuff for winter, travel mugs, keep your drinks warm, non-alcoholic drinks, because you shouldn't be doing that when you're driving and listening to us anyway. But there's American Railroading Podcast stuff that you can buy, and also American Railroading stuff that you can buy. Also, we have our challenge coins. Please don't forget about that. So our challenge coins are to represent and recognize those that served in our U.S. Armed Forces that are also in railroading. And your purchases, a portion of them, the sales of them will go toward our friends at Boots for Troops. So check out our challenge coins also on our website, americanrailroading.net. Click on the store tab and buy it to your heart's desire. There's still time. There's still time to get your stuff by Christmas. So please check that out. We're continuing to accept podcast sponsorships. So we only have 1 gold sponsorship remaining and several silver sponsorships. So if you're interested in being a sponsor of the American Railroading Podcast, please don't hesitate to contact us at marketing@americanrailroading.net. Again, that's marketing@americanrailroading.net. And with that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our platinum sponsor, the Alden Company. Founded in 1904, Alden has been an industry leader, charting a steady course in the manufacturing and distribution of a wide variety of railroad safety and track repair tools and more. The Alden website boasts over 800 catalog items to choose from, with categories including track maintenance and repair, derailers and railers, signs and lights, wheel chocks and stops, rail cars and locomotives, and even truck docks. Alden provides outstanding customer service with a wide variety of solutions, and when you call them, you will always get a real person to talk to, not an automated service. While based in the Chicagoland area, the Alden name is known internationally, and with over 120 years in the rail industry, they're a company you can count on. Please reach out to our friends at Alden today at 847-623-8800 or e-rail@aldenco.com. You can also review all of their products and resources on their website at www.aldenco.com. Alden, keeping things on track since 1904. So for this, our first ever Christmas special, I'm really excited about that. I wanted to infuse it with some wonderful Christmas music from two amazing country music artists who I consider my friends. But first, I want to take a little bit of time to get into the history of the relationship between trains, music, and Christmas. So did you know there's over 800 train songs that we know of that are out there, according to the internet? And the internet's never wrong. From Wikipedia, they say the earliest known train song, was copyrighted July 1st of 1828. It was composed by Arthur Clifton to commemorate the groundbreaking of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. So Christmas and trains go together, obviously, because all of us have had trains around our Christmas trees at some point. My church used to have one until the kids kept knocking it around every year, and now it's amazingly gone. It's not there this year. But we've all seen them, right? And we've all had them around our trees. And there's countless Christmas movies that include trains as well, like the Polar Express. And I've had the song Hot Chocolate stuck in my head ever since I wrote this episode, which is going to drive me nuts now. Probably the whole way home, I'm going to be thinking hot chocolate. Christmas songs and country music go together as well. So did you know that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was performed by Gene Autry, country music movie star and artist? And there was one I wasn't familiar with, but I found out about during my research, which is called Old Toy Trains. It was written and performed by Roger Miller and remade by Joe Nichols and Toby Keith, which is pretty cool. It's a short song. It's really cute. So check it out if you've never heard it before. So it seems appropriate that for our first Christmas special that I have joining me today, not one, but two amazing chart-topping Texas country music artists and dear friends of mine. Our guests for today are Bubba Wesley and Payton Riley. Bubba Wesley has been referred to as a rare gem in music and a musical force of nature, which I can tell you is the truth. If you've ever heard him sing, he has an amazing, powerful voice. Bubba was born with a passion for music ignited by old church hymns. His musical journey began with an unparalleled gift that quickly set him apart by mastering multiple musical instruments, which I did not know this until recently, including acoustic and electric guitars, piano, and drums. He also has a very unique, raw, and powerful voice, which I can attest to. Bubba's concerts are high-energy, immersive experiences that audiences find gripping and unforgettable. In 2024 alone, Bubba has achieved numerous accomplishments, including having a #1 song in Texas radio with his song Falling Star, which I love. You have to check that out, along with 4 consecutive top 25 charting singles. He's also helped to raise over $125,000 in association with charities and fundraising organizations. Bubba was the 2024 Texas Country Music Association finalist for Emerging Artist of the Year and is currently a semifinalist for the Texas Regional Radio Music Awards New Male Vocalist of the Year. Now, Payton Riley has been captivating audiences with her powerful voice and compassionate heart since the tender age of 9 years old. A natural performer, Payton's passion for music shines through every note she sings. And her dedication to honing her songwriting skills and talents keeps her at the forefront of Texas country music. Payton's music is a refreshing blend of country infused with rock soul that sets her apart from her peers. Her ability to convey deep emotion through her lyrics and powerful vocals resonates with listeners, making her songs relatable and memorable. When not in the studio, you can find Payton gracing the stages across Texas and beyond, sharing her unique sound and connecting with fans. Payton has released an impressive catalog of 14 songs over the past several years, and many of her tracks climbing to Texas country music charts and gaining airplay on numerous radio stations. Payton's talents have not gone unnoticed. She proudly took home the title of Young Artist of the Year at the Texas Country Music Awards in both 2023 and 2024, solidifying her status as a rising star in the industry. Additionally, Payton was recently honored, and this is really cool, at the iconic Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee, with the prestigious Josie Award in 2024 for the Young Artist of the Year in the Young Adult Female category. Payton has a huge heart for giving back to the community, including through nonprofit organizations such as Love Heals Youth, who's a group that assists children in foster care. Also, she co-wrote a song called Love Heals about kids in foster care. That was a mouthful, y'all, but it's amazing stuff for both of our artists today. And with that, I want to say welcome, both of you, to the American Railroading Podcast.
How's it going? It's great to be here, Don. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was tough to get through. That was a lot of stuff, but a lot of amazing stuff. First of all, thank you for joining us on our first Christmas special ever. I'm really excited about that and the things we're going to talk about today, and hear a little music and some new releases, which is pretty amazing. So I want to talk about how we met in the first place. So our audience knows that I've been a part of Boots for Troops for many, many years and help with their fundraising and different concerts and things that we do. So I got to be pretty experienced at how to run those things. And earlier this year, I think it was, actually it started a year ago. And then I think we had the fundraiser in February, was a single mom from the area that was donating a kidney to her best friend. And she needed help with a fundraiser that she was doing. So they called on me and said, hey, we know you do this kind of thing. Could you help us out? And so that was my first experience ever doing it on my own. And it was a blast. I really had a lot of fun. Didn't do it all by myself. Obviously, I had a lot of help for the event, but it was just an amazing experience. And then one day I got a call and said, hey, there's this young country music artist that's looking to raise some money for her first album. And is there any interest in helping us with that? And that young music artist, of course, is Payton Riley. So that was also a wonderful experience getting together on that. And that is where I met this young man. And for Bubba, when I met, actually, I don't think we had met before you got up on stage. I was the MC. But then after you were done, and I think it was during the live auction.
Correct.
And I get this, hey, Don. And I turn around and you were so gracious and very giving, and you offered to give of yourself to for the live auction for a live concert if somebody was willing to bid on it for their home, essentially, right? For you to go out there and do it at their home, which I thought was unbelievable. And it really told me a lot about you and the kind of person that you are. And actually, so did your performance, because I believe you gave a little bit of a altar call type deal.
I definitely, as far as in this show, have a song that kind of explains, my past and everything of that nature. And just, so it wasn't necessarily an altar call, but it was just a kind of my point of view on type of things.
Yeah. But you're one of the few to do it. So it got my attention. And so I got to know both of you really well through that, and your family as well, Pete. So that's how we met. And I feel blessed to have you both a part of my life. So thank you for that. And thank you for being here today.
I'm blessed to know you as well. And Payton does have the sweetest family ever.
Yes. Yes, she does. Well, her mom's here. You have to say that. So I have to ask you, and Payton, I'll start with you. So what inspired you to become a country music artist in the first place?
I mean, I've been singing for pretty much since I was born. I would go around the house singing at the top of my lungs, or I thought it was singing. My mom thought it was screaming. And so she put me in voice lessons. And I feel like as a little kid, you go in and out of a lot of things, like doing crafts, doing dancing, ballet, gymnastics. But I don't think my parents really thought I was going to do it for long. So they're like, it's okay. She'll do it and then she'll move on to the next thing. But it's just something that I always sticked with. And at first I started doing Christian music because I grew up going to a Christian private school. And so I started doing that. But ever since I was little, my family had always listened to country music all the time. And once I started taking it more seriously, I was trying to find what I like to do. And so I started doing that. And over the years, it's just changed. And I go in and out of doing different types of music just whenever I'm feeling in that day. I'll do rock one day, country, pop, Christian. It just changes all the time.
That's cool. And that comes out in your music as well. You can tell in the songs that you write. What about you, Bubba? What got you started and got you inspired?
Oh, my God, man. I grew up in a very musical household. I have everybody in my family knows how to play something. Probably not my brother or my sister, but everybody else around us. My grandpa was a Tejano musician. So I got, stuck in, not necessarily Tejano music because I didn't kind of catch that bug, to be honest with you. But the musicianship, that was always there. So I always had instruments around the house. I was raised by my grandparents, so my grandpa threw me into playing music. And I wouldn't say threw me because baseball was my thing for the longest time. And when I was 16 years old, I had a freak accident in baseball and I tore my knee, had a reconstructive surgery for the first time. And I was never, and I still to this day haven't been a big TV watcher. But I asked my grandpa to teach me how to play guitar. And I came home from physical therapy one day and there was a blue guitar sitting on my bed. And that was the beginning. He taught me a G, a C, and a D chord. And there's 7 other chords that I learned myself, so I just kind of really threw myself in there. But as far as music, it never became a full-time opportunity or even a thought of, being my full-time job until I was in college. I was at school at Texas Tech playing baseball. And unfortunately, they told me I had too many knee surgeries and I wasn't the scholarship that eventually was going to come my way didn't come my way. And if you had a few buddies that were at a music school right down the road in Levelland, Texas, called South Plains College. And at the same time, American Idol was coming through town. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give it a shot. So, and that was 2008. So 2008, I just kind of put everything. I made it a few rounds on American Idol, made it all the way down to California. And then they just, told me that was as far as I was going. Came back and decided, let me try this music thing. So I went to the music school there in Levelland, SBC, and moved back home after I got my marketing degree from Tech and took an insurance job, lasted 2 weeks and decided the desk job was not for me. And so it's been 10 years now that I've been doing music full time.
And thank God for that.
Yeah definitely.
So do you remember when the first time was that you played music live, when you performed live? And what do you remember about it?
With my voice school that I was doing whenever I was younger, they always had like little recitals. So I did that. But for what I'm doing now, like playing guitar and singing and writing my own songs, I didn't do that until I was probably around 11 or 12. And I remember we like had emailed and messaged all my friends and all my parents' friends. And so everybody came out, and that's very nerve-wracking, especially when I was just learning guitar. I was playing my songs for the first time in front of people. And it was a 30-minute set, which to me back then was like a long time to be on stage. So I remember I was shaking so bad, and the room was like full because we had all my friends from school there. But definitely after I was done, I was just super excited and that I did it, and I didn't mess up that much. I was just super excited that everybody came out to see me. So it was a very fun experience. And ever since that show, I've just been playing anywhere that people will let me play at.
Including here today.
Yes.
But what I noticed what you said, though, is you had wrote your own music even then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I started
Wow.
writing songs at the age of 9. And at first it was only Christian music. But then as I got older, as I said at the beginning, my parents had always played country music around the house. And so I started getting more into doing that.
Very good. Bubba?
My very first show happened. This was my friend's Sweet 16. So it would have been 2007. And we had a speaker. My cousin and I, we had a speaker and a little amp, and she asked if we could DJ the Sweet 16, and we just thought, we have it all together, absolutely. But the deal for us to do it was, we'll DJ your Sweet 16, which we had never DJ'd at this point. So the fact that anybody asked us to be any kind of part of musical something as memory for the rest of your life was very interesting. And she said, I said, we'll come and do the DJing if you allow us to play some music. Because at this time, we were teenagers and we had this garage band, and we always set up at my cousin's house. He had a drum set, I had a guitar. We had a friend that had a bass guitar, and all of a sudden we thought we were the 3 baddest dudes in high school, So we go and play this Sweet 16 at the Wharton Civic Center in Wharton, Texas. I could still remember it. And to about, 100 or so people that did not even care that we were there singing. They had no clue that what was going on. And finally, we played maybe like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I was just kind of like discouraged about it. Then we realized the reason nobody was paying attention is because my vocals weren't even on. So it was like we were just up there playing music they couldn't even hear. And at this time, I really didn't understand the nature of how it all works. I just figured we're all plugged in. This sounds good. Let's go. And yeah, so my vocals were muted. My very first 15-minute performance. They later became unmuted, and we played the show, and people were like paying attention. So I figured, okay, I kind of liked the second part of all this. So
Yeah.
that was my first ever show. I got paid $0 and it was a blast.
And I have to laugh because when you were talking about learning the different notes on the guitar and that, my grandpa tried teaching me. I learned mostly by ear. And so after years, he would tease me because I do what he called a redneck G.
Yeah.
Because I throw my thumb over. Yep, still do it. Still do it the same. So if I were to ask you who your favorite music artist is, who would it be and why?
I mean, it changes all the time because I like all different types of music genres. But I mean, the ones that I've always go back to is either Lainey Wilson or Miranda Lambert. And I just love their stage presence and the way that they write their songs and just how like sassy they are. I love, like, it's just so fun to perform their songs. And they're really, really hard workers and just amazing people to look up to.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite?
I have a lot of favorites and a lot for a lot of different reasons. But I'm going to say right now, since it's here and I didn't understand, I'm listening to her answer and I was like, okay, I understand all that. If I'm going to put all those together in a category as far as working, singer, songwriter and everything, my hands down go-to person with all that together, if you're looking at that, all those attributes mixed together, would be Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
So
I knew that. I was saying it in my head. I was like, it's going to be
would be Stapleton, man. I've seen him perform with a heavy metal band, a bluegrass band, and I saw him perform to maybe 100 people at Warehouse Live. And that was the best performance still I've ever seen by any artist to this day.
Really?
Was Chris Stapleton at Warehouse Live before the Parachute record. So before his first record, before Parachute came out, before Fire Away, before Tennessee Whiskey. And I got to see him again the second time he came back to play Warehouse Live, and he couldn't even move. So that was before Tennessee Whiskey as well. I think Parachute had just dropped. So as soon as he hit radio, everybody was like, oh, who's this guy? And I've been watching this guy for 6-7 years now, you know? I mean, it's crazy to go from, I saw him open for Buck Cherry, Shinedown, Bullet from a Valentine. The list of artists was just heavy metal, screaming metal. And if you've ever seen his first band, they were right up there along those lines, a band called the Johnson Brothers. And I was absolutely floored. And I fell in love with it. I was like, who is that guy? You know, who's this band? And started following around. So, but altogether, you know, I've read his story and researched him and really kind of listened to people's personal experiences with his struggles and his, you know, coming up. And I mean, even down to the point of how he met his wife is just an amazing story.
I never heard that actually.
I'll look it up. I won't.
I will.
Podcast
Yeah, I will.
But yeah, dude, it's an amazing story. This guy has had a journey, and I mean, you know, he inspires me because I'm 34 right now, you know, and I would, to 34 at my age, to a lot of people would be like, hey man, you're late in the game. And it took me 10 years, you know, to become an emerging artist. So to say it at that extent, you look at Stapleton, he didn't make it until, you know, he was late in his 30s and early 40s. And he's still, you know, making a name for himself out there to this day. So I am truly inspired by Chris Stapleton.
And I didn't know about him having a heavy metal band. I think it was till producer John told me about it. I still haven't listened to any of the songs yet, but I can only imagine with his voice that it had to be pretty powerful.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So there is, believe it or not, a top 10 of Train songs out on the internet. And again, the internet's never wrong. Now, I did look at several different sources, and they all have pretty much these songs listed in some different, so there's no particular order here. And Payton, you're too young to know some of these probably. And you might even be too young to know some of these, Bubba, but unfortunately, I know them all. I don't know what that means. So the top 10 Train-related songs are Peace Train by Cat Stevens. And I didn't think about that until it popped up on the top 10. I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that.
That's not one of the ones I would put at the top.
No, but
that's number one.
I think it's because it's been around for so long.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Probably that there's been a lot of listens. Midnight Train to Georgia from Gladys Knight.
That's on classic.
Yep. Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne from the Blizzard of Oz album, I believe it was. Not a Christmas song. However, it is about a train. Last Train to Clarksville, old school one from the Monkees. And these are who performed them, by the way, not who wrote them. Night Train by Jason Aldean. I was not familiar with that song, so I went ahead and gave it a listen. That was pretty darn good. Train Kept a Rolling by Aerosmith. The City of New Orleans by Arlo Guthrie. So that is the name of a train, which was interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Runaway Train by Soul Asylum, which I think was from the early 2000s. Your buddy Chris Stapleton, Midnight Train to Memphis. One of my favorite Chris Stapleton songs.
I cover that song every night.
Do you?
Every night.
I did not realize that. Well, you got the pipes for it. So.
Thank you.
And Folsom Prison Blues by Johnny Cash, which is my favorite of all time. And wherever I'm at for local music, I always make sure I request that song. It's kind of like my free bird.
Yeah.
Folsom Prison Blues. So, and 9 out of 10 times people will play it for me, but you never know.
That's an all-time classic.
It really is. Like, do y'all have a favorite train song, or what train song comes to mind if I were to ask you?
So this is a song that I've recently discovered. It's called Shut Up Train by Little Big Town. And it's just about getting over somebody that you really loved. And whenever you're awake, you're thinking about them a lot. But whenever you're trying to sleep, you might think about it in a dream, but you're not like freaking out about it and crying. And it's about how this train keeps coming by and waking her up. And she's like, just shut up and let me get some sleep. So I don't have to think about it.
That's really cool. Now I got to check that one out.
It's really good.
So I'm surprised 2 of these weren't on the top 10 list. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Can't You See by Marshall Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was on the list. My number 2, probably my number 1 would be the Stapleton Midnight Train to Memphis. But this one is one of my all-time favorite songs, and it's not on there. Literally, the name of the song is Train Train by Blackfoot. And it starts with a harmonica that sounds like a moving train. I cannot.
I know exactly the song you're talking about.
I cannot believe it's on the list. That's one of my all-time favorites.
It's on the list now.
On my top 10, 15 songs.
Just wrote it in.
This is on there. Train Train by Blackfoot. And if you haven't heard it out there, it's one of the most amazing train songs ever, and I'm surprised it's not being discussed.
It's true. It's true. And now that you've mentioned it, I love that song. It's true. So you have to check it out. Have you heard it yet? Check it out.
No.
Sure.
I gotta check it out.
Probably didn't know who Blackfoot was. Or Marshall Tucker Band for that matter. Did we mention them earlier too? So, how you feeling about cranking out a little Folsom Prison Blues? You feeling up to it?
Let's do it.
So Bubba is under the weather today, and I appreciate you coming in regardless, because I love you, man. I appreciate that.
Love you too, man. Thank you for having me. I've had a blast so far.
Good.
We're just getting this train started.
That's exactly right. It's all downhill from here. So if you're feeling up to it,
yeah.
All right.
Sounds great.
All right. Now Bubba Wesley with a little Folsom Prison Blues.
I hear that train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. Oh, but that train keeps a-rolling on down to San Antonio. Oh, yeah, when I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't you ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. I bet there's rich folks eating in their fancy dining cars, probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I knew I had it coming, I knew I can't be free. But those keep moving, and that's what tortures me. If they free me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine, I'd bet I'd move it on a little farther down the line. Far from Folsom Prison, that's where I wanna stay. And I let that lonesome whistle ring. I let it blow my blues away. Oh, yeah.
Did I tell you he's amazing or what? Unbelievable. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Got my Folsom Prison Blues fix. Well, with that, I want to take a moment and thank our gold sponsor, EnviroServe. EnviroServe is America's premier provider of comprehensive, reliable, effective, and eco-friendly environmental solutions for the rail industry. Their rail services include mobile rail car cleaning, flaring, interior blasting and transloading, removal and replacement of tank car service equipment, and leak testing. Complete HAZ and non-HAZ waste handling, management, remediation, and disposal services, 24/7 emergency spill response, and more. To learn more, please visit their website at www.enviroserve.com. All right. Whew, I still got my buzz from that song. That is amazing. Amazing. And now the moment that we've all been waiting for, Christmas. And I've heard from a little source of mine that Christmas, Payton, is your favorite holiday, but that you were told you can't listen to Christmas music before Thanksgiving.
Yes, because my mom is a Grinch, and I'll try to listen to it all the way in October, and she's like, no, it's not even Thanksgiving yet. I love Christmas music, though.
Well, and you can talk about all you want here today.
Okay.
To your heart's desire.
Finally defrosted.
Yes, she did.
That's funny. That's true. That's true. So Christmas memories, right? We've all got specific Christmas memories. I'm sure we have a bunch of them. I know I do. But one of my favorite ones is that my grandpa, he actually got me into country music as well. He was on a show called the National Barn Dance. I believe it was WLS radio in Chicago way back when. And you wouldn't think Chicago would have country music, but they actually had quite a bit. And this show was the precursor, my understanding, to the Grand Ole Opry. And so every Christmas he would bring his guitar over and he would jam for us with Christmas music and stuff. And he actually got me my first guitar, which was a little cheap Stratocaster knockoff, I think from Sears. Didn't last very long. Being a kid now, I think I broke the thing up. But I was only 5 years old when I got it, and he taught me a bunch of stuff, man, with that thing. I think the first songs I were taught were country, and as we mentioned earlier, I wasn't very good at reading music or even knowing the notes very well, but I figured it out as I went along. But that was one of my favorite Christmas moments for me, was spending time with my grandpa and jamming out to country music. So, Payton, I'll start with you. So, do you have a favorite Christmas memory?
Yes. So, I mean, we do the same thing every single Christmas, but every year it's just more fun and more fun. But on Christmas Eve, my grandparents come over and my aunt, and then my sister, my dad, my mom, and we all make Christmas cookies, and we make them from scratch. Like, we make the dough and the icing, and then we decorate them. And then everybody in our family all has matching pajamas, and my mom, she'll get them with like custom sayings on the shirt, and she'll be like Cookie Monster and like that kind of stuff.
That's
and so
cute.
Everybody gets their own little name, and we take pictures, and then we always play these fun like 1-minute games, and it's like, who can get the Oreo in their mouth the fastest, and it's like sitting on your nose, and then we put candy canes in our mouth, and we try to get as many candy canes, and so we play fun little games like that. So those are really, really fun to do.
That is awesome. Sounds like a sugar high too.
Yes.
That is good. Bubba, so you have a special Christmas this year too, right?
I do. Yes, we have a special Christmas. It is my daughter's first Christmas. I got a 13-week-year-old.
Yes.
Today was her first day at daycare, so I'm taking it all right.
You're doing well.
My mom, she's handling it. She's handling better than I thought she would. But as far as my favorite Christmas memory, so I was raised once again by my grandparents, and I kind of grew up, like there's a level of poverty. I grew up under that level, and I can always remember my first Christmas that I was at my grandparents, because Christmas never was about gifts and stuff in our house. It was always literally kind of like Payton said, about family time. But I didn't understand probably that what the significance of the gift giving was, that we were even supposed to receive gifts at Christmas. Probably not until, I really started understanding that in elementary school. So my mom has always came back to me and always said, like, there's been times she remember us as kids asking, what are the gifts about? And I can really remember my grandparents asking us, what do you want for Christmas? And me being like, what are you talking about? Will you get gifts at Christmas? So my Christmas of 1999 was probably, I was 8 years old, so probably the most special one to me. Because that was the first gift that I could remember getting that, I would say wanted, that, weren't exactly expecting. So Christmas of 1999 was probably that one that I remember the most, because I remember it being a Hot Wheels car set. And me and my brother thought it was like the coolest thing in the world. So Christmas, yeah, that's probably my favorite memory. And then it was funny because apparently my grandparents have ran out of wrapping paper, and my grandpa had to wrap it. And so it was like pieces of whatever kind of wrapping paper they had left over and nobody used, with little pieces of tape all over it. So the fact that that all kind of comes together, man, that still is one of my favorite Christmas memories to this day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And is there a Christmas song that pops in your head when you think of Christmas? Is there a Christmas song that automatically pops into your head?
I really, really like listening to Mary Did You Know. That's probably, I've sang that song since I was really little at my school, whenever I went to in-person school, because I'm homeschooled now. But during Christmas time, they would have me sometimes go up on stage and sing that song. So I really, really like that one. But I also like all the other Christmas songs. I love listening to the Pentatonics and all their stuff too.
They are one of my favorites, without a doubt.
See, when it comes to Christmas songs, it just goes back to the classics for me. And this is one of the reasons why. And we'll get to that later. One of my favorite movies, there's this song, and the main character in the movie has a comb, and he's singing the song in front of the mirror. So White Christmas by Bing Crosby has always been one of my favorites because of this movie. And it's funny because a lot of my favorite songs have been soundtracks. My favorite songs have come from soundtracks of movies, but my all-time favorite Christmas song, White Christmas, Bing Crosby, the Bing Crosby version.
And you could nail Bing Crosby because your vocals, right?
Yeah, I could try.
I know you could do it. And that's what I always loved about him, is that bass.
Oh, yeah. I always thought he had a very unique voice.
For sure. So going back to Mary Did You Know, would you like to play it for us?
Yes.
All right.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you've delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm a storm with his hands? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? And when you kiss your little baby, you've kissed the face of God. The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nation? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? And and the sleeping child you're holding is the great I am.
I'm trying to clap, but I don't want to drop all my papers. Payton Riley, y'all, that is amazing. Thank you for that. And Bubba, I know you don't want to push too much today, but is there a Christmas song you want to jam on the guitar, acoustic version?
Dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, with a tree and tops glisten, and children listen to hear the sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, with the tree tops glisten, and children listen to hear the sleigh bells and the snow. Dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your dreams be merry and bright. May all your Christmases be white. May your dreams be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
Awesome. It is now my favorite as a Bubba Wesley.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. Thank you for that. Now, Payton, you wrote, we were talking about earlier, you co-wrote a song with Rebecca Smith-Nash of Love Heals Youth called Love Heals. And while it may not be a traditional Christmas song, it does make us remember what's important at the holidays. And even you mentioned this earlier, Bubba, for everyone to have a sense of family and home. Mm-hmm. So would you like to play a little bit of that for us?
Yes.
Been cast away, misunderstood, never felt the way a child should. His days alone turned in tears, have no place to call home. When I'm scared, there's no arms to hold. When tears pour out, I wipe them on my own. Dear God, if you hear, will you answer a simple prayer? I want a family, someone to love me, no matter where I've been or what I've done. There's no greater feeling than overcoming demons, knowing there's a place where I belong. Home. Trouble's what they label me, forgotten so easily. I saw how cruel the world could be. I need an angel who's willing to see with devotion unconditionally. Will take me just as I am. Dear God, if you hear, will you answer a simple prayer? I want a family, someone to love me, no matter where I've been or what I've done. There's no greater feeling than overcoming demons, knowing there's a place where I belong. Home. And I hope you'll find me before I quit. Show me mercy when I throw a fit. Guide me to peace through the storm. And don't forget to hold me in your arms. I want a family, someone to love me, no matter where I've been or what I've done. There's no greater feeling than overcoming demons, knowing there's a place where I belong. Home.
That is my favorite song of yours by far.
Thank you.
By far. I love that song. And it always makes me get choked up.
Yeah, it's fantastic too. Yep. Fantastic.
Yeah. And it reminds you what Christmas is all about, right? Giving and people aren't always as fortunate as we are. So, yeah, it's amazing. Thank you. So we have exciting news as well. You both have new Christmas music out, right? And that is exciting. And Bubba, we'll start with you. So you tell us a little bit about Christmas on Matagorda Bay.
So Matagorda Bay is the area I grew up in. It's just kind of, I'm a coastal Texan, and that's kind of, Matagorda Island is kind of like the island that is the biggest part of the Texas coast next to South Padre Island, which Padre Island is another massive island on the coast of Texas. But Matagorda Bay there's two different bays. It's the East Bay, the West Bay, but it basically stretches across Matagorda Island. And I grew up in a little town, a bay city named Bolin, the name of Bolin, Texas, where I grew up. So Matagorda Bay was my stomping grounds for summertime, spring break, and everything of that nature. I've been moved from there. I haven't lived down there since 2000 and I can't even remember, to be honest with you, but it's been several years. And a buddy of mine says need to come home and play some shows by home for the holidays. So as a joke, it's just on this ongoing thing is like, Bubba will come back when he feels like it to Matagorda Bay. And so this song I've been sitting on for probably like 2 years. I wrote it probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I decided last year was too late to put it out on a record or out for a Christmas single. And at some point this year, I decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And so I've been sitting on a song. I probably cut it. I think I cut this song earlier this year in 2024. I was like, when Christmas comes around, it'll be ready. And I'll have it ready.
Mm-hmm.
Well, came around and I was like, you know what? I think I need to go in and completely cut this song again.
Oh, wow.
I actually cut this song with 2 buddies of mine that are from the same area, Wharton County area. And they were in a band that was out for a long time called The Washers. And they don't tour as much anymore, do much of anything, but they host a big festival called Wash Fest down in Matagorda Bay area. And so we went back in the studio and we cut this song, and now I have a song for all the coastal Texans, because this song isn't just about Christmas. This song is just about reflecting on the times that we have where we don't have snow. It rarely snows. I think the only time it snowed in Matagorda in the last probably like 100 years, it was recorded like in 2008. So there's not much snow ever down on the coast of Texas, and we don't really get that cold. And a matter of fact, when we were shooting this music video 3 weeks ago, we were fishing. So that tells you
I love that.
About that stuff. Yeah, if you check out the music video, it doesn't involve. It's all Christmas, how we celebrate Christmas as a coastal Texan, and what we kind of do.
Is it kind of like celebrating Thanksgiving here in the Houston area with barbecue?
And barbecue and tamales, yeah. You hit that one. If you have tamales twice a year, you're wealthy.
I only have once. Just saying. Well, cool. Well, should we take a listen to your new song?
Absolutely. Yeah. Check out the music video, guys. This one's I filmed with a buddy of mine, Jeff Canada, and the wonderful people at Texas Toast Podcast. This one's called Christmas on Matagorda Bay.
Let's give it a listen.
Weathermen said there ain't a chance of snow this year. Other states will be upset, but we're used to it down here. The San and Padre is as close to a white Christmas any Texan has ever seen. Silver bells in San Antonio, cheerful greetings in Galveston. A blue Christmas in Austin without any snowman around. Rocking around them old trees from Freeport to POC. I'll be home in time for Christmas on Matagorda Bay. Old St. Nick, bring me a boat, sunscreen and a fishing pole. Gift cards to Whataburger and Buc-ee's if you please. Winter Texans are welcome here. Year-round there's ice-cold beer. So pack flip-flops and shorts, Christmas is here. Silver bells in San Antonio, cheerful greetings in Galveston. A blue Christmas in Austin without any snowman around. Rocking around them oak trees from Freeport to POC. I'll be home in time for Christmas on Matagorda Bay. Christmas in Austin without any snowman around. Rocking around them oak trees from Freeport to POC. I'll be home in time for Christmas on Matagorda Bay. Yeah, I'll be home in time for Christmas on Matagorda Bay.
Amazing. I took a listen to it actually the other day when you texted me about it, and I absolutely love it. So how can people check it out? Where can they go to check that out?
Anywhere you can legally stream and download music is the easiest way to kind of say that. Spotify, Apple Music. We've been getting most of our crowd and our demographic comes from Apple and Amazon, actually. I'm really surprised at our Amazon numbers, but yeah. So please get it. Wherever you can legally stream and download music, you can find Christmas on Matagorda Bay, and check out the music video on YouTube.
Very good. And we'll also share a link to that, by the way. We'll share a link to that
Thank you.
for the podcast. Yeah. Peyton, I'm going to see if I can pronounce yours right. I've been practicing. Jingle, jangle, jolly. Did I get it right?
Yes.
All right. Sweet. So tell us a little bit how that came about.
So me and my good friend Jen Harris, we wrote this song all the way in July, which writing a Christmas song when it's not Christmas is a little bit of a challenge because it's easier if you write it when you're in the Christmas spirit. So we had to get a little bit into the spirit by playing some other Christmas music. But it was super fun. I feel like a lot of Christmas songs are about wanting somebody to come home for Christmas and are sad because you don't have anybody. But I wanted this song to be about how we celebrate Christmas in Texas and having somebody and all the things that we like to do how Texans celebrate Christmas.
And it is different.
Yes.
Well, very good. Well, you want to play it for us?
Yes, sure. This is Jingle Jangle Jolly. Christmas Texas style, got a reef on the truck, getting all dolled up while he's firing it up. F-150 UT orange on the rims, gonna tell my daddy that I'm crazy about him. Jingle jangle jolly, jingle jangle jolly, jingle bells are ringing all around my heart. Jingle jangle jolly, jingle jangle jolly, jingle bells are ringing all around my heart. Holding my hand through the red and green lights, so I'm wishing he might, just maybe tonight, lean right over, say I'm his only one, flash me that smile, Texas style. Jingle jangle jolly, jingle jangle jolly, jingle bells are ringing all around my heart. Jingle jangle jolly, jingle jangle jolly, jingle bells are ringing all around my heart. Jangle jolly, got some mistletoe and holly decorating, celebrating, got some kisses in the making. Jingle jangle jolly, jingle jangle jolly, jingle bells are ringing all around my heart. Jingle jangle jolly, jingle jangle jolly, jingle bells are ringing all around my heart.
That was great.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And
That's such a catchy chorus.
Right?
Now I'm going to go around telling everybody that. We have a jingle jangle jolly Christmas.
I was afraid of breaking my chair. I was moving around so much over here. Jingle jangle. See, I can't do it now. Jingle jingle jolly Christmas. So I got to ask you this because we've been having a lot of fun today, and I know I've been to several both of y'all shows, and you have a lot of fun with what you do. So, what do you enjoy most about being an artist?
Meeting people, being a people person. I've always kind of, when I did take a small hiatus from music, I was a relations consultant. And so I've always been just, for lack of a better term, fascinated and infatuated with people, just human beings. So you meet a lot of interesting characters on the road. Do you meet a lot of interesting characters just being involved in the business? So my favorite thing, though, is just seeing people relate to you through music. how they interpret your music. It makes that part of what you do so special.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing people's interpretation, like people can come up to me at a show and be like, man, I love this song because it reminds me of blah, blah, blah. And it's not even closely related to the reason I wrote the song.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they interpret it that way makes it go, okay, I can understand that my brand is building a bigger audience and making what I'm doing and what I'm pouring my heart and soul into relatable for more than just my personal reasons. So seeing that type of, camaraderie between the crowd and the fans and the people that are showing up
Mm-hmm.
and the organicness from everybody that's at the shows, just, man, that makes everything I do every day. All the headaches makes them just fade away.
And it's a lot of work. I don't think people realize how much work it is.
Building a brand is
because they don't see the
more than
behind the
music.
scenes. Yeah.
It's way more than music.
Yeah. Oh, for sure it is. And it's a lot of work. And Peyton, I apologize. I wanted to go back to Jingle Jingle Jolly for a second because I didn't tell people how they can find it. So how can
Okay.
they find it?
Oh yeah, they can find it on all streaming platforms, like anywhere they listen to their music at Payton Riley Music.
Okay. And was this the first time you played it live?
Yes.
All right. Woo. We were the first.
Fantastic.
Heard it first here on American Railroading Podcast. That's awesome. Well, thank you. So what do you love most about being in music?
Bubba stole my answer. Mine is the same exact thing. The people. I always say like I want to be a light to people, and if you notice, like whenever you're going through a certain period of time, like if you're sad or you're angry, what do? You go and listen to music that like is either they're screaming or they're sad, and it's talking about that kind of stuff. So I just love how music can move people in so many amazing ways, and so I just want to be able to help people through whatever they're going through, and just be a way that it can help them get through it, and they can relate to it, and they can know that they're not the only person and that they're not alone.
For sure. I agree. And I think, and we've talked about different genres of music that we all like, and it really changes for me based on that day or even that time of whatever I'm going through that day. Like when I write podcast episodes, perfect example, I can only listen to something like smooth jazz.
Can I add something to that?
Absolutely.
Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah. No, you're good.
Cool. One of the things I'm sure that Peyton can attest to as an artist is when you're a songwriter. So the fact that you're pouring your lyrics about what you feel inside and seeing people really kind of, man, just praise that fact and give you, that gratitude. It gives you such a satisfaction just seeing other people go, that was a great written song.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it relates to people like the home song. Oh my God, that was fantastic. And I've heard it 20 times, at least,
Yeah.
and we've played shows together before and I've heard it every time. And I'm just like, dude, every time I hear that song, I'm just like, that's one of those songs that just, man, you hear that and you feel that and you see and feel that from everybody else that listens to your music. And man, that as a songwriter, as a lyricist, really kind of is like a cherry on top.
Makes it all
icing.
worthwhile.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, very good. Well, getting back to Christmas and food, because it's two of my favorite topics. What's one dish you cannot live without at Christmas?
Well, this is like a all year round kind of thing, but I'm like addicted to mashed potatoes.
Really?
So I have my mom and my grandma make the ones where you put like the cheese on top and then like the little green things. What are they called?
The chives.
Yeah, and then bacon and like you put it in the oven and like all of it melts and everything. It's so good. I cannot live without.
For me, okay, so I know it's not really a side dish. But and it doesn't matter Thanksgiving or Christmas, because this is the only two times I allow myself to have this. I'm a fan. If you're hearing this, write down for my address if you can make one of these, because I've had my favorite thing to eat on the holidays is buttermilk pie. Okay, buttermilk pie.
I never even heard of that.
So
Same.
many people haven't, and it's amazing. Buttermilk pie is a Southern pie. And it's like cheesecake, but not cheesecake.
Oh.
It's cheesecake with the crust, like a real crust. But it's not cheesecake. And it's not like a flan, and it's not like a creme brulee. But it's all kind of those different things mixed into one. And it's amazing. Buttermilk pie.
So send us the information if you know how to make
If you
it.
know how to make buttermilk pie.
At info at American
You're gonna get
Railroading.
2 thumbs up for me.
That's right. Info at AmericanRailroading.net. Send us the recipe. Or a video of you making it. That's even better. For me, it's deviled eggs.
Oh, man.
I got to do
That's
deviled
up there,
eggs.
too.
Got
Yes,
to
it
do
is.
deviled eggs.
I can have deviled eggs year round.
Right.
any holiday, any celebration, in the green room, in the green room.
And there's Texas versions of deviled eggs as well that are a little spicy.
Yeah.
Everything here is spicy. All right. The next one. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Mine is the animated Grinch. 'Cause
Yeah.
the one, is it called live action? That one, the guy in it's kind of scary. So.
Jim Carrey? I think it was Jim
I like
Carrey,
the
right?
animated one more.
Yeah.
She doesn't like Jim Carrey. Dude.
Apparently.
That's what I got
Yeah.
from that.
What's
Wow.
funny is Jim Carrey, I saw an interview with him and he was making those faces without any makeup on. So that was not a mask.
Really?
He was contorting his face like that to play the character, which I think is amazing and scary.
Is it still
apparently
scary
for you.
in real life too?
A little. But I love
smile.
I love Jim
Yeah.
Carrey.
The way
so.
that he does the smile is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hey, dude, he's an amazing actor. So for me, my all-time favorite Christmas movie, oh man, it's a really close tie. But number one of all time has to be Home Alone, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was that was iconic to me because I'm a 90s baby. And obviously the first Home Alone came out but right before I was born, but still an iconic 90s movie. I absolutely love that movie, and I could watch that movie when it's not Christmas. So, but it's really close between 1 and 2 because number 2 is fantastic as well.
I never did see number 2.
Oh, they even have a number
No.
3. There's 1,
Right.
2, 3, and then there's only 2 with Macaulay Culkin. Those are the best. Yeah, that the 2 with Macaulay Culkin are the best.
So for me, I'm torn between Christmas Vacation and Elf.
Elf?
Oh, Elf.
I'm
Yeah.
torn between those two. So I obviously like comedies a lot. So it's a toss up between the two. But whenever I walk up to a Santa and tell me it smells like beef and cheese, they don't always get it. They just kind of look at me funny.
I just introduced my wife to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
She's also a 90s baby, so I was really shocked she hadn't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to give her some of that, social direction.
A little culture at Christmas.
Yeah,
All right. Believe it or not, guys, we're nearing the end of our episode already. I know. There'll be more. Don't worry. So is there anything you'd like to share with our audience before we go?
So for 2025, I have a couple of very exciting things. I'm coming out with some different music than what people are used to me hearing. I'm not going to spoil what it is because I want them to be surprised, but I'm super excited for y'all to hear the new songs. I'm going on a little mini tour in the UK, which is going to be super fun.
That is exciting.
I love traveling, and I've always wanted to go to some of the places that we're going, so I'm super excited for that. And I'm also going to be in a movie.
Wow.
So before I did music, more like full time and started playing guitar and writing songs, I was really into acting. I used to be in plays and stuff like that, and I've always wanted to get back into doing it because it was so much fun and you met so many amazing and talented people. But just with my schedule, I haven't been able to. But when this opportunity came up, and in the movie it involves music, I was like, Mom, I have to do
That's
it. And
cool.
so we're going to do it, and I'm super excited.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
really
you.
neat. Yeah.
Thank you.
You have to let us know more about it when the time comes.
Definitely, 100%.
Well, I'm excited for your movie because I think you obviously have a way different role in that movie than I do. But yes, there's talk about a movie in 2025. Excited about that.
Same movie? Potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
Oh.
I'm not as nowhere near involved as she is.
Okay.
It just was brought up. Would I like to be a role in there somehow? Absolutely. So we'll see how it works out. I'm excited for that. If it does,
If they need it
for me,
if they need
for
a
her,
train.
definitely. She's the big cheese in this thing, man. So I'm excited.
That's
for
so
her.
cool.
But man, I'm excited because I got a ton of stuff coming on in 2025. I got the biggest release that I've ever planned currently right now in the works, and it should be out in January or February. Can't really go too deep into that because all the dotted lines haven't been signed, so to say, but be sure you check out all my social medias. That's where we build our brands, and you have no clue what one click and one share can do for my career and for Payton's career. It literally can blow up and happen like that. So I ask everybody out there that is watching us right now, be sure to give us a follow, give us a like on all the social media. You can find me at Bubba Wesley Music, BUBBA West LY .com, all on all social medias out there, and anywhere you can legally stream and download music, do that, because I got some really cool stuff coming out. I got a song coming out that was written by Bernie Nelson, who is a Grammy Award, multi-platinum, amazing songwriter. So I'm excited to put that one. Montgomery Gentry originally cut the song, and they didn't kind of go through the tour. Obviously, they had some horrific stuff happen to them, but the song got pitched around to several people in the scene, and it somehow fell in my lap. And Bernie is just such a sweet dude, a nice guy. My promoter that introduced me to him was a fantastic person too as well. And song fell in my lap. Me and my wife listened to it, and the first time I heard it, I was like, "That's my song." Like that's that. I didn't write. This is the first song I've never written that I'm releasing. So
wow,
I'm super excited, or at least wasn't a writer on the song.
Sure.
I had one that I co-wrote with somebody I released, but this it's called Damn Baby, and it is a tune that I'm super proud about. I had some of the most amazing musicians cut the song with me. The steel player plays the Grand Ole Opry, the guitar player that was on the song with me. Tours with Stevie Wonder, was on the road with John Mayer, Jack Johnson, Jason Mraz. He's done some awesome stuff, which Jack Nelson, by the way, you got a shout out.
Right.
He's a fantastic musician, like I said. And Dylan Wheeler's drummer was my old drummer, Darius Ross. He's on this cut as well. I recorded it with Stormy Cooper. But it's currently right now getting mixed and mastered in Nashville. So I am really, really excited. And I'll be in Nashville next week to see everything turns out. So
that's amazing.
Next week's a big week for me. Probably the biggest week of my life.
That is amazing.
So we shall see. So if you're out there and this won't be out yet, but if you're a praying person out there, say a prayer for me.
Yes. And thank you for doing that. By the way, every weekend, this man puts out a prayer request on social media.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which I think is awesome.
My wife and I pray over everybody that posts on there, whether, I'm not here to preach to you and tell you that I'm a preacher or I'm the biggest Christian in the world, because I'm not. That would be a lie if I was sit here and tell you that. But what I will tell you is I do believe in faith, and I do believe faith brought me out from some of the darkest places in my life. I've been sober now 3 years, and I feel like that's the way that my wife is also sober, that we can kind of just give back. So every Sunday on all my social media pages, we post a prayer request. You can just say on there, pray for me. You don't even have to put what your prayer request is about. But my wife and I make it a point every Sunday when we're together to pray over that prayer request. And even when I'm away from the house, we'll get on the phone and we make sure that prayer comes through.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you're also up for voting right now. You want to tell people about that?
Yes, I'm up for voting for the T3R Awards, New Male Vocalist of the Year. It only took 10 years for me to become a new male vocalist. So please, please, please give me your vote. I'd appreciate that so much. And that's, there's a lot of people that kind of just, I've never been one to ever even been thinking about being nominated for awards, or ever been in that award category. I've just always been like, I love playing music. And so I continue to play music and play music and play music. And finally somebody goes, hey, by the way.
Yeah.
So I got an email. Actually, I got an email from my promoter. She goes, I don't know if you saw this or not. And I literally was rolling over out of bed in the afternoon, excuse me. And I'm looking at my phone going, oh, that's cool. And then I go to my text messages and it's like 20 text messages from all my musician friends was like, yo, bro, congrats. And I was totally shocked. So thank you to everybody who has voted already for the first round. We're in the second round, and then the third round is the final round. So hopefully you can vote for me out there so I can get to the third round and bring home an award.
And they can get to the link through your social media.
The link is on my social media. Yes. TRRMA.net. Think there.
And we'll add that link also to the podcast, so they'll check that out. Yeah, for sure. And then Payton, so how do they find out all your music? Where can they find all your music at?
So they can find all my music on all streaming platforms, like anywhere they listen to their music at. I'm actually coming out with a new song on February 14th.
Okay.
It's called Weather Boy, and I have a release party for it on February 13th at the Do-Si Do Whiskey Barbecue. So y'all can get tickets now.
Which is a very cozy setting. It's a cool place.
Yes, yes, it's awesome. I love playing there. It's going to be super fun. They can find my music on all streaming platforms and find me on social media at Payton Riley Music.
Very good. And the Do-Si Do Whiskey and Breakfast Bar is in the Woodlands, Texas. For those that don't know, come check it out. Okay. So how can people book you? If they want to book y'all, how do they do that?
Call my wife.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. You can find all my stuff online. Booking, BOOKING at BubbaWesley.com. Be sure you spell Wesley right. BUBBA West LY. Booking at BubbaWesley.com. Shoot us a message. If you have a quote, you can, a bid. You can bid in that way, and we'll tell you whether I'm booked or not. And my wife handles all that stuff like that of that nature. But yeah, hopefully, man, if you'd love, we travel all over. So as long as the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed in the contract is what I like.
That's right.
They can reach out to me through my website, PaytonRileyMusic.com, and my email should be on there, and you just email me through there.
Very good. Well, believe it or not, guys, that's the end of our episode for this first Christmas special. I know, but we'll do more. I promise. Would you like to join us again on a future episode?
I would love
Yes.
to.
Awesome. Thank you.
Better voice.
I think you sounded amazing. Absolutely. So thank you both. Merry Christmas to you both.
Christmas.
But stay put for just a second because I'm going to go through my 2 cents, which is what I usually try to close with here.
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to wing this one, folks. But Jesus is the reason for the season, right? And we talked about how, and Bubba, you actually mentioned this, how Christmas is really about being selfless and giving. It's not so much as receiving, although we love to receive, right? It doesn't take much to give at this time of year. It's not about money necessarily. You can volunteer through your church, through food kitchens, things of that nature, or even to foster care, right? Like we talked about earlier. So there's always a way you can give of your time at this time of year. People need it. People need it much more than we do. So keep that in mind at this time of year. And yeah, that's my 2 cents. Well, I want to thank again our platinum sponsor, the Alden Company. Founded in 1904, Alden has been an industry leader, charting a steady course in the manufacturing and distribution of a wide variety of railroad safety and track repair tools and more. The Alden website boasts over 800 catalog items to choose from, with categories including track maintenance and repair, derailers and railers, signs and lights, wheel chocks and stops, rail cars and locomotives, and even truck docks. Alden provides outstanding customer service with a wide variety of solutions, and when you call them, you will always get a real person to talk to, not an automated service. While based in the Chicagoland area, the Alden name is known internationally, and with over 120 years in the rail industry, they're a company you can count on. Please reach out to our friends at Alden today at 847-623-8800 or e-rail@aldenco.com. You can also review all of their products and resources on their website at www.aldenco.com. Alden, keeping things on track since 1904. And I also want to recognize our anchor sponsor, the Revolution Rail Group. So again, we're a consulting and brokering firm in the railcar industry. So if you need any kind of consulting, whether it's merger and acquisition consulting, process flow analysis, market analysis, we can help you with that. Also, if you're looking to buy, sell, lease, or sublease rail cars, we can help you with that as well. You can reach out to us today at 844-455-3434 or info@therevolutionrailgroup.com. You can also check out our full suite of services at our website at therevolutionrailgroup.com. So our next episode is coming up next year, because this is the last one for season 2, which is unbelievable. Producer John, can you believe we're going into season 3 now? That's just craziness. Because I remember when I first started this podcast, they said if you make it past episode 1, you're kicking ass. So I guess we're doing all right at 22 episodes, going into episode number 23. So thank you to everyone that's followed us, liked us, and left us all kinds of wonderful reviews. It's thanks to you that we can continue to move forward with our podcast year after year. There's still time to do Christmas shopping on our online store. So please go to our online store at AmericanRailroading.net, click on the stores tab, and shop to your heart's desire. There's still time to get your Christmas gifts. So Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. God bless. Make it a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us on the American Railroading Podcast. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, please subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app. And if you have a topic you'd like us to cover on a future episode or want to support or sponsor the show, please visit our website at AmericanRailroading.net.